G'day there, trendsetters. What's for Kosher Vegan Shabbos Korean style, with a shout out to Korean Vegan and Yeung Man Cooking, two fantastic vegan cooking channels that you should be checking out to enrich your life. And spice it up. And we're going to talk about spices here because this is Gochugaro. And it turns out that according to Kosher Australia, now check with your local Orthodox kosher authority, that plain 100% dried spices, as long as they're not from Israel, are fine. They're kosher, they're acceptable. So I went down to a Asian grocery and got some beautiful sun-dried Gochugaro, and it is a remarkable spice, and it's fantastic, and it's really been lacking in our lives. You can't really find it in the kosher supermarkets, but it is acceptable. So check with your local authorities and go get you some. This was $8.50 for about a pound of it, and it goes a far way because you need 2 tablespoons for this, which is kimchi jjigae, which is a kimchi stew from Yeung Man Cooking. Fantastic channel, and it's a very simple recipe, and you need just a bit of kimchi. Yeung shows how to make some kimchi. I'm going to try that, but if you want a shortcut, get some ready-made one. This is Kihos red kimchi. This one's kosher. Tried it, and it's really delightful. So shout out to Kihos. If you want to sponsor my channel, please send a crate of kimchi. That would be great. And the whole thing with Gochugaro and using the authentic spice, you can't compare it. I tried to supplement chipotle when I made Yeung's chili oil, and the chipotle is way too smoky. So this is like a Tex-Mex Chinese chili oil, which I enjoy, but it's a bit too smoky and pungent for my family. So now we're going to shift gears a bit. We got this red kimchi stew. The aroma is fantastic. It's simmering along, 15-minute simmer. And to this, we're going to add some tofu. And perhaps we're going to do a Korean vegan style little monologue, a little soliloquy, if you will. And that is that, it's Parsha Noach this week. And I think all of us perhaps have a bit of a Noach in us, a bit of a Noah in us, who, in order to survive a great flood, build our own arks, and we build our own survival strategies. And, to use the language of IFS, those are the parts of us that are protectors. And even these protectors can carry some burdens, because that flood that you faced, that flood that you had to deal with, was probably pretty intense and traumatic. And it was a serious survival situation. And so those parts of you adopted some strategies. And for me, I'm going to be opening up about perhaps a part of me who, when I was in the infantry of the IDF, internalized perhaps a hypervigilance, perhaps an extreme focus on duty and the mission and carrying it out. And whilst this is really necessary and vital and good at the time, when you bring it into civilian life, and you've also internalized from your service an expendability and disposability of your own life for the mission, that when you translate it to your civilian life, to being a husband, to being a father, to being a friend, to being a worker, to being somebody who serves clients and customers, that might not always be the best survival strategy or the best arc. There's a time to build the arc, to go it in, and there's a time to leave the arc. So this Shabbos, as you're enjoying your meal and maybe taking a break from the intensity of the week, perhaps take a moment to talk to those parts, that inner Noah of you, that had some survival strategies whenever that flood was. It could have been in early childhood, could have been later, could have been in some intense situation in your life that you've been through recently. And just thank it. Just thank it for doing the job that it did, because you're alive today. And give it a bit of a salutation. But then say, hey, is there anything you want to tell me about that time that you were on the ark? What was it like? And is there anything you want to unburden? What did you carry with you on that ark? And is there anything you want to do differently now that it's time to leave the ark and perhaps leave it behind? Because those parts can be still stuck on the ark, and they can be still practicing patterns of behavior that, whilst necessary and vital at a certain time, are not really suitable right now or ideal. So talk to it. Talk to it with compassion, with courage, with curiosity, and with kindness, and with love and appreciation, because that's what these parts need. So whilst this kind of simmers for 15 minutes, that's going to be done. Then when we come to heat it up, add some enoki mushrooms. This is our little take on it. That was my wife's suggestion. It's fantastic. And then this might not be authentic, and I might be insulting your ancestors here, but please apologize. Please give me license. Some rice noodles go a long way in this to make it a full meal. garnish with a bit of spring onion, more green onion, more flavor, and a bit of toasted sesame seeds, maybe a drizzle of sesame oil, and that's it, that's done, that's dinner. So taking a bit of a right-hand turn away from the kind of Middle Eastern vibe, going down the flavors of the East, and we're enjoying that. So every now and then we like to vary things up, and thank goodness, even within the realm of kosher and vegan, you can find fantastic flavors and fantastic feeds. Anyway, I hope you're staying safe, looking after yourselves, and wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom.